Hey there, Middle-earth strategy battle gamers. So today I'm going to be doing a quick review on the war in Rohan. So right off the bat, I know that this is a little bit late. I know War in Rohan came out back in December, um, and they've already announced the next supplement coming out, which is great. But today I'm going to be doing my review for War in Rohan. We've kind of been able to play around with some of the profiles and models and things now that have come out, and I figured I can give you guys a pretty good kind of review on how I feel about it. Okay, so first off, this book has a lot of content in it. It has 9 new legendary legions, 13 new profiles, and 16 scenarios that recreate the scenes from the books and the movies. The legendary legions and the 13 profiles are including Helm Hammerhand and his legendary legion. So, after like playtesting some of the new profiles for the Rohan and the Dunlendings, um, I think they did a really good job. So like me and my bro and Jason and stuff were talking like so Gondor War, they left a little bit of like leeway for finishing Gondor with new profiles and things. I think Rohan at War kind of sealed the deal for Rohan in terms of like there's literally nothing else they can give them now. They've explored Rohan with Helm Hammerhand in the kind of the starting of the Rohan. They have that. Well, they also did Fairly Young, but Helm Hammerhand also expands on that. And then putting in characters above the foot Rohan with like Aldor and Haleth. And these two characters buff Rohan infantry, and they make them like all that much more viable for match play, if you will. And there's also a few other things they put in there that I'll talk about in a minute that also expand on that. So with the release of the supplement, we also got a plastic Cerimon, and they've announced a plastic Amir in the works. They've shown him and stuff. I think he is going to be ready to be shipped out as soon as this whole craziness ends. But those two new plastic models, plus all the profiles we've gotten, and we've gotten the models for almost all the profiles now, except for the two Ents, I believe. So Rohan War has given us quite a bit of new toys to play with in terms of profiles and models. This supplement has also given us something big, really big in terms of terrain. It gave us the Rohan at War, the Rohan House and Palisade and Watchtower, which is a really cool, versatile plastic kit that, as you can tell in the background, I've actually put together quite a few Rohan houses. We've been working on a couple of Rohan boards for our next tournament, and it's a really good kit. So that with all the new profiles and models that we got, that alone makes this probably my favorite supplement that Games Workshop has done since the kind of rebranding of the game. I think that I'd like every supplement to have this kind of like love put into it in terms of like all the new profiles and models and terrain, but I know they can't because it's not necessarily viable to do with every single supplement. But I think personally that it just made it that much better. So with that, I'm actually going to jump now and start talking about the new profiles that you can find in this supplement. So we want to start off with the Rohan section, which comes with Aldor and Haleth. These two are like the new Rohan heroes that are like in the Third Age, or in the War of the Ring kind of Rohan profiles. Both of them have really cool profiles, and both of them have. Well, Haleth himself, he has like a good buff for Rohan infantry and for Aragorn and stuff. Aldor is kind of a cool wild card you could throw in your list that would buff maybe your shooting a little bit more. And then I'm going to go over to Fangorn. So they finally added 2 new Ent profiles, Quick Beam and Beachbone. These two are also, they add they add more might to your Fangorn army first off. And then they have some cool rules to throw in there. Like one of them can move 8 inches, as an example. So it kind of adds a little bit more dynamic to your Fangorn army, and it kind of completes that army a little bit more. Now I'm going to go over to Isengard. Isengard got Grishnok and Snaga. Again, two really. Grishnok already had a profile, but they did a new model for him, and he's gorgeous. And then the Snaga is like another orc captain with some really cool rules attached to him. But now I'm gonna go into like the kind of the meat of this book, like the part that I think most people were excited about in terms of like the profiles. They kind of added a new army in terms of like they really fleshed out an army, I should say. So people played Isengard before and kind of took a Dunland theme. Some people took like a Dunland army, and now you can finally take a Dunland army to the table. So they added 3 new profiles for heroes. So there's Gorwolf Ironskin, there's Frida Tallspear, and there's the Wildman Oathmaker. Um, so like Gorolf Ironskin, he has a really cool rule where you can call a heroic defense for free every turn, and he has, he's also a beast himself with a high strength value. He has a high attack value, and he has 3 might to work with. And then we have Frida Tallspear. Again, she's a beast in what she can do. Um, and then she has a really cool rule where she does good against cavalry. So she like negates charge bonuses and knockdown if she's in the fight or supporting the fight. Uh, and the Wildman Oathmaker buffs your Wildman of Dunland. So these are 3 new really cool profiles they added in, and these profiles also like add tools. If you wanted to take a Dunland army to a tournament or whatever, you got all kinds of tools now. We're taking that Dunland army with these 3 new hero profiles makes it that much more viable as an army. And they also got 3 new troop types. So you could take Dunland Horsemen, um, who get to reroll ones when wounding mounts. So they're pretty good at killing hero horses, or if you're charging a Knight of Dol Amroth or whatever. They also have a pretty good strength value of 4, which is really good for cav. Um, Other than that, they're pretty much the rest of the army in terms of fight value and courage and stuff. And now you got another really cool versatile unit that I think makes this army like very very viable in terms of like tournament match play. I'm kind of focusing on that aspect of this army because that's kind of like subjectively how I look at armies. Um, so you got the Dunland Huskarls or Huskarl. These guys are like beast. Their profile, you look at their profile and you're like, well, they're just another Dunland warrior. But then they have all kinds of war gear options. They have bodyguard, which is a good one for them to have. Like for a model to have, anyone who can take bodyguard is awesome. And then they can use their halberds as a tuned weapon or a spear support. So just like the axemen of Lostenark. And then they have a ability where if they're within 3 inches of a hero, then they get +1 to their fight value. So now you're talking about fight 4 spear supports basically. So you just kind of mix it all in, and you're talking about a really good unit that makes like your shield wall or whatever have a fighting chance against armies like Gondor or Mordor. So the last unit in this quote-unquote new army are the Kree Bane. It's a flying unit, which again adds really good tools to this army, and it has a really cool ability. I think it has 2 really cool abilities, where if you're within 12 inches, Kree Bane, if a unit, let's just say if a model is within 12 inches of the Kree Bane, then they don't get their stock unseen rule. That's what I was trying to say. So like that's really good if you're trying to hunt down an elf or something with that unit. And then they have one other really cool rule where if they're getting shot at, only a natural 6 can hit them. So it's a unit that can survive getting shot at. It can fly around the board 12 inches. It just adds that much more kind of element to your list. So those are all the new profiles. They also got Dunland got a section for battle companies. I'm going to skip past pretty much all Legendary Legions. I'm just going to talk about 2 of them real quick. So I'm going to start with the Defenders of Helm's Deep. And the reason why I'm talking about this if you want to take a foot Rohan army, I would take this one in particular because you got all the really good heroes giving this list. So Aragorn, Legolas, Theoden, so you got really good hero options. And it gives it the ability where if you take throwing spears, you're guy with a throwing spear can spear support a model as long as he doesn't throw it that turn. So then now you're talking about a shield wall in a way, which is a really cool ability and one that I frankly think infantry Rohan's needed for a very long time. They gave him that. Um, and then anyone in this legendary legion with a bow, longbow, or elf bow, they get 30-inch range instead of 24-inch range. So it gives them a really good shooting advantage against other armies. So they've captured kind of those two rules in particular really made this stand out to me. Okay, I'm gonna give it kind of an honorable mention because I know it's gonna talk about two of the legendary legions kind of in particular, but the Gandalf legendary legion also really stands out to me because of the Gandalf being able to lead Rohan is something I've always kind of wanted for a long time, and he has a really cool rule attached to that where he basically acts as a shade for a turn. But the other legendary legion I want to talk about was actually the Helm Hammerhand legendary legion. Now this guy, like him by himself, he's a beast. He's fight strength 5 with a tune of weapon and burly, but in his legendary legion, he gets the Rohan bonus too, so he's strength 6 on the charge. And then he has a tune of weapon, but in the Legendary Legion he has a mighty hero, so he gets a free point of might per turn, and he can call a free heroic combat. So we're talking about a murder machine. This guy can pretty much kill anything in the game pretty easily. Now that being said, once he goes down, I believe the rest of your army would go down. Because all you could take with him are Rohan captains, but just like the combination of Helm Hammerhand, like being able to go in there and smash like everything really kind of intrigued me. But there are a ton of legendary legions in this supplement, and all of them are good. But those kind of three stood out to me as a kind of a Rohan player. Those stood out. But there's um, there's a legendary legion for like the Warg attack. There's a legendary legion for the Uruks. There's a legendary legion for the Drunadan. There's a legendary legion for Thaedred. So all the kind of Rohan themed or Isengard themed legendary legions you can think of are in this book, which is just another really good thing that is a part of it. So that's kind of my quick review on the book. I really like this book. I think if they can capture like the magic, if you will, with that they did this every supplement, then we got like, a lot going for us. I don't think they can because just like logistically, but I think like they said they're going to do a big supplement and a smaller supplement every year, so naturally the smaller supplement won't be able to do what they did to this one, but maybe the next big one they could. So fingers crossed. I want you guys to put in the comments below. So we know that the next supplement coming out is going to be the Quest of the Ring Bearer. So it's going to focus on the Fellowship, probably Frodo and Sam, mostly. But I want you guys to put in the comments below what you think the next big supplement is going to be. I've been thinking now for about a year that the next supplement was going to be the Last Alliance, kind of that era of Middle Earth, but we haven't gotten it yet, but I do think it's coming. So if you guys liked this video and found this review helpful, please like, share, subscribe, and comment below. We do really appreciate the support we get and support your Middle Earth hobby.